And I know all of you are hearing nectar from so many great devotees, so many great Vaishnavas. And I am also learning. I'm a small student of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, especially this 24 śikṣā-gurus, very, very inspirational section which comes in 11th canto of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. So I will be talking about that section. So we'll begin. So this is in 11th canto, and this is spoken by Avadhūta, who is basically Dattatreya, and he talks about the 24 śikṣā-gurus. So we'll try to discuss about these 24 śikṣā-gurus and what all lessons do we learn from them. We'll try to discuss. Okay, all right. So Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Gadamahyam Dadati Supadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapatakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavasya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahaganalita Shri Vishakhanvitascha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimade Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatti Deshtarine Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langai Degirim Yadkripatam Hammande Shri Guru Tilatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram जय गुरु जय श्री प्रभुपाद की जय समस्त गति वैष्णव भक्तवृंद की जय वेदवस्ती की जय all glorious Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, which is a transcendental, most nectarian revolution from Lord Shri Krishna, ultimately presented to us by Srila Vedvyas ji. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Puraneshu ch sarveshu Srimad Bhagavatam param. Yes, so we'll try to discuss something from Srimad Bhagavatam. So it talks about 24 śikṣā-gurus. So who are these 24 śikṣā-gurus? Yeah. So first I'll just name them and then we'll try to extract some teachings, what we learn from them. So first śikṣā-guru is Prithvi, earth. Second one is Vayu, air. Third one is Akash, sky. Then fourth śikṣā-guru is Apah, which is water. Then fifth is Agni. Sixth is Chandra, moon. Seventh is Surya, sun. Eighth is pigeon, kapota. Ninth one is Ajgar, python. 10th one is Sindhu, ocean. 11th śikṣā-guru is Madhukrita, the honey bee. And then 12th śikṣā-guru is the honey collector, the one who does madhukari. And then 13th śikṣā-guru is Gajendra, the elephant. 14th śikṣā-guru is Mriga, the deer. 15th śikṣā-guru is Matsya, fish. 16th śikṣā-guru is Pingla, the courtesan or the prostitute. And then 17th one is Kurura, which is a kind of bird. And then 18th one is Bala, the child. 19th one is Kanya. And then 20th is Sharakit, the arrow maker. And the 21st śikṣā-guru is Sarpa, the serpent. 22nd śikṣā-guru is Urnanabha, the spider. And then 23rd one is Shuka, the wasp or the caterpillar. And then 24th one is Atman, the very self or the super soul. Yeah, like that. So this prakar say, so these are 24 śikṣā-gurus which are discussed in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 11th canto. And in the 7th chapter, this is mentioned that from 7th chapter, from 37th verse, this description comes. That how these different śikṣā-gurus are there and what all lessons we can learn from them. Yeah. So that's being discussed here. So first one is Prithvi. So from Prithvi, we learn tolerance. Yes, we see that so many offenses are being done towards Prithvi, that we spit on Prithvi, on earth. We trample on earth. We do so many sinful activities on earth, but earth is so tolerant. So one can learn tolerance. In case somebody wants to have a lasting spiritual life, it is very important to learn the quality of tolerance. So taro rapi sanshnuna. Especially it becomes very difficult to tolerate insults. Like in 11th canto Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Uddhavji was told by Lord Kṛṣṇa. He said that it is still somebody can tolerate the sharp arrow which has pierced the heart, but it is very difficult to tolerate the insulting words from the uncivilized man. That is very, very painful. But yes, sometimes this happens, especially when somebody who is very near and dear to us, that person insults us, we have to tolerate. We have to tolerate the dualities of life. We have to tolerate dualities in terms of praise, in terms of insult, profit and loss, good times, bad times. We should learn to tolerate. So those who are tolerant, they progress. Jo sehta hai, wo rehta hai. So in case somebody wants to really excel in one's life, one should learn to tolerate. Also, we learn the quality from earth is forgiveness. Forgiveness said that it is a quality that we learn. Forgiveness is a wonderful quality. It cools the air, it cools the sting and it warms the heart. Often when somebody has given us a sting, that place becomes hot and the heart becomes cold. But how to reverse the temperature? Well, reversing of the temperature can happen by the power of forgiveness. Forgiveness is a gift which we give not to the other person, but to our own selves. We all have experienced the relief which we get when we forgive someone. Yes. So that's why one should learn to forgive the others, especially those who are insulting us, those who are very near and dear to us, but we should learn to forgive them. Yes. And then second śikṣā-guru is Vayu as a teacher. So from Vayu, we can learn that non-attachment. So Vayu flows from one place to another place. It may carry some fragrance for a time being, but then it leaves that fragrance, and then Vayu, ultimately we see that it remains detached. So we should also learn to remain detached, especially in household life. We have to face so many things, so many difficulties which come in our lives. Sometimes there are attachments as well, and sometimes even though unknowingly we tend to associate with someone which is not so favorable, but yet we have to move ahead. So we should learn the quality of detachment from air. Air even flows above the garbage, and it can carry some fragrance, but yet after some time it leaves that fragrance back odor and moves on. That's it. Similarly, we see that whether it is a hot place or a cold place, sometimes that means good times or bad times. One may have some kind of disturbance for a while, but one should move ahead. That's very, very important. So that's a quality which we learn from Vayu, non-attachment, and ultimately purity. And then the third Shiksha-guru is Akash. Akash means subtlety, all pervasiveness. So Akash is present everywhere. So similarly, we should also understand that Lord is also present everywhere. And Lord, through all of these different vibhutis, He helps us. So Akash is there inside the flute, and yet we see from different holes, the Akash is outside as well. Yeah, the air is inside, the air is outside as well. But yet we see that the each of the holes, they emit different air, but still it is inside, it is all one. So similarly, super soul is also all pervasive, but yet at the same time he appears to be individual. He may appear to be in this person's heart individually, but yet at the same time the Lord is one. So we learn subtlety and all pervasive nature of the Supreme Lord from Akash. So within the earthly atmosphere as well as beyond, there is Akash, there is space. And then fourth Shiksha-guru is Apha, which is water. So what do we learn from water? From water, we can learn the flexibility. Yes. So water does not stay at one place. It just flows. Water does not argue with mountains. No, I'll only pass from this particular path only. No. It passes, yes, the mountain is standing, so the water makes a path because the water is very flexible. And that's why it is able to move from one side to another side and ultimately meet the ocean. So in case we also want to meet the ocean, Lord Shri Krishna, we should learn to be flexible. That's very, very important. And also we learn from apaha, purity. Yes, water is life giving. So we should also learn that how we can contribute in other people's lives. That's also very, very important. So that's given in 11th canto 7th chapter 40th verse, which is let me open the verse. Okay, just give me a second. I lost the track of the verse. Yes. Okay. So this material body, which certainly moves by the arrangement of the providence, will certainly continue to exist life along with life, air, and senses as long as one's karma is in effect. One who has attained absorption in the Lord through samadhi and who is fixed in absolute reality will never again surrender to the material body and its manifestation, knowing it to be just like a body seen in a dream. Yes. Okay, and now next śikṣā-guru is Apa, and then Agni is there. So power to consume. So fire, it consumes. So similarly with the fire of devotion, yeah, with the fire of devotion or fire of knowledge, all the karmas are burnt to ashes by the power of devotion. So it is mentioned that, oh, Lord Shri Krishna contemplated Uddhava, all the doubts of the sages headed by Sanaka are destroyed by my words. They then worshipped me with loving devotion and glorified me by offering transcendental prayers. Okay, yes. All right, yes. So Agni, the quality of Agni is that power to consume and detached brilliance. So fire can also transmit its qualities to other objects as well. Like Srila Prabhupada used to give example that how DT is divine because any matter which comes in the contact with spirit, so it becomes like spirit. But just like fire when it is there with the iron, it makes the iron also glow like fire. So that ways we learn from Agni or fire that how the good qualities can be transmitted to the other objects. And then sixth one is Chandra. So Chandra it passes through different phases. So whether Ashtami Chand or Navami or Dashmi or Ekadashi, whatever Chandra is there, but still Chandra remains same. Although to our perception, the moon appears to be differently situated, but actually moon is one. So similarly, the soul may also transmigrate from one body to another body to another body to another body, and in different phases, the consciousness may be constricted or limited for a time being, but yes, the soul remains unaffected. Just like to our view, the Chandra may appear to be differently situated, but Chandra remains same. Similarly, different bodies we may experience, but still the soul remains same. Actually, there is no change in the soul. The soul remains unchanged because ultimately soul is part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. So that's why it does not undergo any change. But the consciousness can undergo different kind of changes. Just like a bulb, which can be placed inside a vase or any kind of utensil. So the light which is coming out of the bulb can change, but the bulb itself remains unchanged. Similarly, the soul remains unchanged. Yes. So just like when we are driving, we may look at the moon, and the moon appears to be traveling with us, but actually moon is not traveling. Moon is situated there itself. Yes. Similarly, Chandra, moon. Sometimes we also tell the analogical example of Chandra that, oh, Krishna Chandra. Yes, Vrindavan Chandra. But somebody can, but in Madhuri Kadamani, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that when somebody looks at first time, he has darshan of Krishna. So at that time, one curses oneself. One becomes very repentant that what did I do? I compared the Lord with Chandra or moon. But Lord is spotless. The moon has got so many spots in it, but there is no spot in the Lord. But what to do? There is no other thing better than the Chandra, which I could compare to. So that's why I said Krishna Chandra or say God Chandra. But actually, Lord is spotless. The moon has got spots in it. Yes. And another thing which we learn from Chandra is that, which Srila Prabhupada also quotes that, a Chandra may have got some spots, but yet the Chandra is not known for its spots. The Chandra is known for its good quality, its luminosity. So similarly, a devotee may also have some kind of spots, some kind of defects, but devotee should also be always be seen with the qualities of his devotion, of his dedication. That is what we should look into a devotee. Because every devotee in the beginning, especially when we see that there are sometimes there can be some faults in that person, but ultimately we should see the good qualities. Yes, the devotion, the surrender, that is what we should see. Yeah, that's very, very important. Okay, then we have next Shiksha-Guru, which is Surya. Yeah. So Suraj, so Surya has got different qualities as Surya remains uncontaminated. So Surya can purify different places which are very, very filthy, but yet at the same time, Surya purifies, yet the Surya remains uncontaminated. Similarly, a devotee may be in the material world, but he remains uncontaminated. Like Srila Prabhupada, when he went to USA, he was like the sun. He was purifying Americans, Europeans, Indians, Africans. Many people who came in touch with Srila Prabhupada, they got purified. But Srila Prabhupada remained himself all pure. He never fall victim of Maya. So Surya. Similarly, Surya, sun also, sun may rise from the east and set in the west. And all the meanwhile, Surya, sun is visible. But before sunrise and after sunset, the sun is not visible. But sun continues to exist. Similarly, Lord is visible when he appears and then he finishes his pastimes. So in between, the Lord is visible to us. But before that also and afterwards also, the Lord continues to exist. So that phase, Lord is not restricted. Not that Lord Kṛṣṇa, how can he be the Supreme Lord? Sometimes people ask, and how can Krishna be Supreme Lord? Why? Because he came in Dwapar Yuga, Lord Ramchandra came in Treta Yuga, Narsingh Bhavan came in Satyuga. How can he be the Supreme Absolute Truth? Because Krishna is always existing. So just like sunrise, before sunrise and after sunset, the sun continues to exist. So after sunset, the sun is there, but may not be in India, but maybe in New York. Over there, it is sunrise, it's good morning. Over here, it is good night. So similarly, Lord may disappear from one place, but Lord appears at another place doing his Lila. From one universe to another universe, the Lord can manifest his Lila. So that is one more thing which we learn from the sun. Also, we learn from the sun that although sun is having such energy, yet at the same time, the energy is controlled. Similarly, a devotee or any person who has got abilities, along with abilities, there should be also the restriction which comes by humility. That's also very, very important. Also, sun has got sunlight as well as heat. So heat may not be seen, but heat can be felt. But the light can be seen. So similarly, somebody may have good qualities which are very tangibly visible, and somebody may not have so tangibly visible qualities, but after some association, we can actually feel those qualities in that person. So sun gives us brilliance, and from that brilliance also we can learn some priceless lessons from the sun. Also, kapota or pigeon. So pigeon represents excessive attachment to family life. Like one Srila Prabhupada, he was there with his disciples and he was walking across a park, and there he saw that underneath a tree there were a lot of stool from the pigeon. And then Srila Prabhupada, he looked at the pigeon and he indicated towards that pigeon. He said, towards that stool, he said, just see, even they are attached to family life. Because that means pigeon is spending too much time in the nest, and that's why it is not going anywhere, and that's why there is so much stool here. So just see, the family attachment is so common. Even among the animals, it is there. What to speak of human beings, that it is attached, this attachment. Like once there was one person, he came to meet Srila Prabhupada, and then he was introducing his family. And he said, so this is my wife, and this is my daughter, this is my son, this is my younger son, this is my younger daughter. In this way, he was, this is that. And once he left, and then Srila Prabhupada said, this is my sex life, attachment to family life. So one may live in family, of course, because Grihastha Ashram is also very glorious. But in Grihastha Ashram, one should seek to have more and more attachment to Krishna. We should help each other become more and more Krishna-centric. That's very important. Otherwise, when we become more and more attached to household life, bad. Like there are grihasthas and there are grihamedis. So one should seek to be a grihastha, not a grihamedi. Similarly, for those who are monks, Srila Bhakti Siddhant Maharaj used to say that there are brahmacharis and there are matha medhis, those who are attached to matha. That means those who just want to stay in the matha and just eat and sleep and then again get up and then eat and sleep and that's it. So there are people like that as well. So one should not be attached to one's matha. That means in one place I'll sit here and then just have good time. No. Ideally, a monk should be traveling, preaching, serving always. In fact, best is that the monk before going to bed, before even the head touches the pillow, he should sleep. He should be so tired in Krishna's service. That's very ideal life. But yes, when there is excessive attachment to family, that's very very important. That we should save ourselves from this attachment. Although in family life there would be some attachment, it is not possible that one becomes absolutely detached. No, there would be some attachment, but we are to customize it in a way that our bhakti is not impeded, our bhakti is not disturbed. That's very, very important. So one should not have excessive attachment. Yeah. And that we learn from kapota, which means a pigeon. And the ninth one is a python, ajgar. Yes. So python. So what is ajagar vritti? Ajagar vritti is that python doesn't do anything on itself. The rat would make the hole and then pigeon would go and then eat the rat and also reside inside the hole. That's ajagar vritti. So similarly, devotees, they don't work outside very hard. Whatever scientists and these great people who are experimenting and discovering and making new and new inventions, we use it in Krishna service. It's like devotees are making use of the Zoom. Has any devotee did the coding for Zoom? No. But the one who did coding for Zoom, and now we are using it for having classes in Vedaversity. Wow. We are using technology, we are using YouTube for preaching. We are using mics for preaching. We are using so many things in Krishna's service. Like one Srila Prabhupada, he was in airport, and then devotee said, Srila Prabhupada, one day we will also have this airport, just like we have this JF Kennedy airport, we will also have our airport. Prabhupada said, no, this is our airport, because everything belongs to Krishna, and we are servants of Krishna. Whatever belongs to the master also belongs to servant. So that's why this airport belongs to us. There's one airport, airport known as Oh Hare Airport. Srila Prabhupada said, yeah, one day this airport will be Oh Hare Krishna Airport. So Srila Prabhupada used everything, just like dictaphone. He used for transcribing the books. And then we got these volumes and volumes of books. So, so this is the quality of Ajgar. Also, Ajgar, he sits in contemplation. Whenever the right time comes, and then it eats. So similarly, devotee should also be spending most of the time contemplating on the Supreme Lord. And whenever there is any seva, the devotee should be ready to do seva. Srila Prabhupada used to say, work now, samadhi later. So we should work now. In Krishna service, we should work now. Yes, preaching services, we should do that. So this is what we learn from Ajgara, Python. And then we also learn from Sindhu. Sindhu is calmness. Like in Avadhūta, there comes the example of so many rivers, they enter the ocean, yet the ocean remains undisturbed. Similarly, so many sense objects may enter into a devotee. A devotee may be entering, may be eating something delicious, yet at the same time, a devotee should not be driven by it. So ocean remains calm. So how come ocean remains calm? Ocean is able to maintain the calmness. Why? Because of the vastness and the depth. If any water body is not very deep and vast, it can be disturbed by any kind of new entry into it. But because of the vastness of the ocean, so many rivers, they come and meet the ocean, but the ocean is undisturbed. So more we are having the vastness of our character, the vastness of our devotion, the depth of our devotion. So sometimes in such a case, a devotee, he appears to be engaged in some kind of sense gratification, but he's not really into sense gratification. That sense gratification does not really disturb the devotee. Like one Srila Prabhupada, he was given 7-Up. And Srila Prabhupada said, and he drank 7-Up. He said, that's refreshing. But Srila Prabhupada was not really contaminated by it. No. Once he was in a flight and he was watching Charlie Chaplin movie. And that secretary was really astonished. Then how come Srila Prabhupada is watching Charlie Chaplin movie on flight? And then Srila Prabhupada watched it for 15 minutes. He laughed. And then he sat back and then he relaxed. And he closed his eyes. And then he told his secretary, Just think, if this humor of this world, which is not so great, still we feel so happy by watching this humor. And this humor is a perverted reflection of the humor in the spiritual world. So how much humor would be there in Krishna Lila? And then Srila Prabhupada narrated one pastime that there was one hunchbacked woman. He came to meet Krishna in Braja. And he said, Krishna, you told that anyone who surrenders to you, you accept that person. So I am also now surrendered to you. Please accept me. I belong to you. And then Gopi said, yeah, yeah. You are also not, you are also curvy in your shape. Krishna is also very curvy. Both of you will make such a good jodi. Both of you will make such a nice pair. And all the gopis, they laughed, and Srila Prabhupada also laughed. And then devotee was really stunned that how can Srila Prabhupada, who just watched Charlie Chaplin movie, that Charlie Chaplin movie is acting as an impetus for him, Uddipan, of transcendental humor in the spiritual world. Wow, that's amazing. So Srila Prabhupada was always doing this meditation. He was there. Yeah, once somebody saw him doing management, he said, Swamiji, you say Satadam Kirtyanto Mam, but I see that you are not doing Satadam Kirtyanto Mam. Suddenly you're discussing management, transfer money from BBT to this account to BBT and all that. You're doing management. You're not doing always Satadam Kirtyanto Mam. And then Srila Prabhupada said, come and put your ears on my back. And then that person came, and then he put his ear at Srila Prabhupada's back, and there he heard Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So Srila Prabhupada is always contemplating. So we also learn from Ajgar or Python the quality of contemplation. Yeah. And the next one is Madhukrita. Madhukrita is honey bee. So collecting essentials without greed. That's also one more lesson, very important lesson which we learn. Often there are those who are beggars. They go from one house to another house to do some madhukari. So madhukari. So bumblebee also goes from one flower to another flower, collects honey. Similarly, sometimes devotees also, they go from one person to another person to another person, from one household one to another household to get some prasadam, but with the purpose of giving Krishna consciousness to them. Not that those who do madhukari, they go with their tiffin, and then from one house to another house, from one house I get chapatis, from one house I get bharta, from another house I get dahi balla, from another house I get papad, another house I get achar. In this way, I'll have 36 items in madhukari. No. In madhukari, one has to go only and collect that much which is required for that time of meal. That's it. Not that I would collect and have multi-story apartment of prasadam. No, it's not like that. But often earlier devotees would go from one house to another house to collect honey, in the sense madhukari. Yes, not that we go to householders and then we disturb their budget. So when devotees came and then they had sumptuous feast, chappan bhog, and everyone took 2100 rupees. In this way, 21,000 rupees were given just in Sukha Prasad, and then entire budget for coming months was disturbed. No. So Madhukari, we should learn from the beggar, that although we may go from different places, but yes, the primary purpose is to give. We should learn to give. In fact, householders, they are meant to give. Like once there was one devotee couple, they came to Srila Prabhupada. They said, Srila Prabhupada, we are now we are married. What's instruction for us in Grihastha ashram? Srila Prabhupada said they thought that Srila Prabhupada would give some very intricate kind of instructions. And then Srila Prabhupada said, okay, anytime when you cook, then go to the balcony and shout 3 times. Is anybody hungry? 1. Is anybody hungry? 2. Is anybody hungry? 3. And say it loudly, not that say it quietly. Anybody hungry? Anybody hungry? Anybody hungry? Okay, nobody's hungry. Okay, I really. No. You have to shout out, say, anybody is hungry? 3 times. In case somebody comes, then first feed them and then you feed yourself. So similarly, first we should feed ourselves? No. First we should feed others. Yeah, that's very, very important. So madhukari, that's the quality which we learn from honeybee. And also there is so Gajendra. So Gajendra, in danger of attraction to the sense pleasure. So how somebody who is very learned, Indradyumna, in previous life, but somebody who is addicted to pleasure, like in the we see Gajendra, he was having his summer holidays with his wife and children, and that too in heaven. Wow. But we learn from elephant that when somebody is addicted to pleasure, any time danger can come. Good time can turn into bad time anytime. This can happen. Also, we see that Ajgar, crocodile is weaker than elephant. But in case the elephant is fighting the battle inside water, water is the territory of the crocodile. So in this battle, who would win? Although externally, if we see that elephant is more powerful, then but who would be victorious? Crocodile would be victorious. So similarly, since we are living in this world of Maya, and since it's a territory of Maya, although we are superior energy, the living entities, we are Tatastha Shakti. Jeev Shakti is superior to Maya Shakti. But yet, because this is entire territory of Maya, in the battle between Maya and Jiva, who is going to win? Maya is going to win. Another reason is that Maya is surrendered to Krishna. How much we are surrendered to Krishna? No, we are not surrendered to Krishna. We may be surrendered to 50%, 40%, 70%, 80%, 99%. But Maya is 100% surrendered. So who would win? The one who is 99% surrendered or the one who is 100% surrendered? The one who is 100% surrendered. So Maya is 100% surrendered, and that's why Maya would be victorious. Once Srila Prabhupada, he told one devotee, he said, I see that you do not come to Mangal Aarti. Why you don't come to Mangal Aarti? He said, Srila Prabhupada, actually, I'm in Maya. That's why I'm not able to come for Mangal Aarti. Srila Prabhupada said, bring Maya with you, but you must come for Mangal Aarti. Very important. One devotee said, Srila Prabhupada, sometimes I fall in Maya. Srila Prabhupada said, no. Sometimes you fall in Krishna. You are always in Maya. Not that you are in Krishna and sometimes you fall in Maya. No, no, no. It's not like that. So in this world, when there is a battle between the Jiva and Maya, Maya is victorious. Firstly, Maya is energy of Krishna. Secondly, she is fully surrendered to Krishna. Thirdly, it's a territory of Maya. So we see from Gajendra. Gajendra, although he's more powerful, was defeated by the elephant. And that's why ultimately he had to surrender to Krishna. That, oh Supreme Lord, oh Hari, please protect me. And then he offered prayers and then Lord protected him. Similarly, we cannot be protected from Maya. Maya is very powerful. Very, very powerful. How can we be protected? We can be protected from Maya when we call out Krishna's name. Then we can be protected. Just like sometimes when somebody goes to somebody's house and then the Doberman dog, he pounces upon us. So we may say, doggy, Tommy, you get down. No, Tommy will not get down. You have to call out the master of Tommy. And then the master will say, Tommy, get down, get down. And then Tommy will get down. Similarly, we may say, oh, Maya, Maya, Pishachini, you Dakini, you this and that. No, nothing will help. You have to call out the master of Maya. That is Krishna. Then we can be saved from Maya. Otherwise, who can be saved by Maya? Big sadhus who are having beard, very renounced and very renowned as well. But Maya does not leave so easily. But yes, Maya becomes very happy when we leave uh, the prison house of Maya. Then we also learn from Mriga, deer. So deer is captivated by the music of the hunter. The ears are adjusted in a way that I grab the sound. So in this way, the deer gets hunted. Similarly, sometimes mundane sounds can captivate us. Mundane sound. Bollywood songs, Hollywood songs, some of my favorites, 1980s songs, Kishore Das songs. Sometimes in between I listen so that I can refresh myself. Well, sound can be really captivating. So Anavriti Shabdat, what is that which liberates a person is Shabdat. But what is that which brings captivity of the soul is also Shabdat. So which kind of Shabdat are we associating with is that's very, very important. Somebody say, well, we will go there, we'll have our vacation, we'll enjoy, yay. That's also Shabdat. But that would bring captivity. And Hare Krishna Mahamantra is Anavriti Shabdat. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Anavriti Shabdat. Hari Kathamritam is Anavriti Shabdat. So from Shabda, there comes liberation. So which kind of Shabda are we associating? That's very, very important. So Mriga gets captivated by Shabda, by the kind of sound. And then comes Matsya. So from Matsya, fish. Fish, although is very intelligent, very nice. It even he sleeps wide awake. So one lesson which we learn from fish is that a fish is always eyes open. Similarly, when we listen to Hari Katha, eyes should always be open. Sometimes when the class is very warm and sometimes very boring, and then we tend to sleep in the class. But we should have our eyes all open, completely open. So this is one lesson which we learn from fish. Also, the fish got stuck because of the tongue. Sometimes when the free pizzas are there with the hook, and the fish says, wow, let me be selfish. Let me eat this pizza. And then hook is there to hook the fish out. Similarly, the pleasure of the tongue. Pleasure of the tongue can actually help us go down, can make us go down. Why? Because of the taste. This tongue is very, very dangerous because we speak, also we eat. So two functions are done by the tongue. So that's why those who can't control the tongue, they can't really get Krishna. Jihiver lalsaye iti utidhai, Shishnudar parayan Krishna nahi pai. So Shishnudar parayan Krishna nahi pai. Who? Jihiver lalsaye iti utidhai. Well, let me order something from Zomato. Okay, let's order some jam or pizza from Zomato. Yes. Oh, yes. From Swiggy, we can order some maybe Jan noodles. Yes. And then we say Shri Vishnu, Shri Vishnu, Shri Vishnu, and then eat it. So beginners may do that, but anyone who is serious in bhakti must control the tongue. Even when we are feasting, feasting should also be done in a regulated way. Not that when there is feasting and then we eat more. No, we should learn how to be regulated in eating. Very, very important. Not that we should starve ourselves. No, that should also not be there. And at the same time, they should not be overeating as well. When we are not able to control the tongue, then belly and genitals, which are also coming in same line, they also go out of control. So from where are we eating? Very important. So like sometimes when we devotees, they go to the marriage parties and then over there they see, okay, which is not having onion, garlic, and then we eat. But who is cooking it? Very important. Very, very important. Like or say we purchase namkeen from Haldiram, or say some similar such ways to gratify the senses in a sattvic way. We should try to avoid as much as possible, because jaisa an वैसा मन और वैसा जीने का ढंग. So our an, from where is it coming? So tongue should be regulated. Yes, very, very important. And then after Matsya, there comes Pingla. Pingla was actually, she was a prostitute. And once she was waiting for the customers to come, but the customer was not coming. She was showing all different kind of seductive gestures and postures, but yet nobody was getting attracted. And she became so frustrated that I'm looking for customers. What is this? And in this world, people actually enjoy our body. We think that people love us, but actually they just love our body. That's because I'm good looking, I'm beautiful. I got my skin. Somebody just squeezes my skin, and I think that this person loves me. But actually, it is not like that. Am I really loved by anyone? No. In this world, nobody loves anyone. Everyone loves themselves. If in your association, if in your physical association, I get enjoyment, I say I love you. And in case of other person also getting enjoyment from me, I love you too. But actually, it is not that I love you. It is I love me. That's it. And till the time you are gratifying my senses, this love will go on. And in case it is not happening, then goodbye. So one more lesson. So the lesson which you learn from Pingla is that renunciation. Finding happiness in detachment. Yes. The pleasure of detachment is more than the pleasure of enjoyment. Yes. And that's why we see that when somebody is able to just clear their stomach, they feel so relieved, because त्याग का आनंद खाने के आनंद से ज्यादा होता है. That's a fact. In case somebody is having constipation, oh, the life is so miserable. I know people that they become happy that the day they clear their bowels. Wow, it is such an amazing day. Why? Because I could clear my bowels. त्याग की खुशी. So pleasure of detachment is even more than pleasure of enjoyment. Yeah. And then Kurura bird. So peace through renunciation of possessions. And the Bal, a child, freedom from honor and dishonor. The child is not really bothered about honor or dishonor, but it is very difficult to remain equipoised in both the conditions of honor and dishonor. Honor, people love it, but the one who takes pleasure in honor would be very much disturbed in dishonor. And the one who remains shanta is cool-headed in honor. In dishonor, he would remain equipoised. So one who is very extreme in good times would also go through another extreme in bad times. So that's why, so duality has to be maintained. So what we learn from child, the child is absolutely indifferent whether it is honor or dishonor. Children, they are absolutely bindas. So that means one may have the innocence, but one should not have ignorance. So innocence of a child is very much appreciated, but one should not be having ignorance just like that of a child. Very important. Okay, then Kanya, maiden. So Kanya is from Kanya we learn that modest behavior because she is very beautiful, and solitude. Kanya is able to do things in her zone of seva without getting any kind of hankering that I may have some kind of association or help. No, Kanya. Yeah. Sarkrit or arrow maker. Arrow maker does not see here and there, just focus on making the arrow. So even the entire karma of king passes by. And the king said, I was passing by, you did not give respect to me. Arrow maker says, well, I was so focused. So in making the arrow, the sharpness of the arrow, and that's why I just could not focus at who is passing by. I'm very, very sorry. So we should also see that what is distracting me. Am I getting distracted too easily? Like when we are chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, often we get distracted by the witch known as the mobile phone so easily. But while chanting Hare Krishna, we should have a focus, just like the arrow maker, a resolute focus, that nothing should be able to shake me from my focus. In case my focus is getting lost very easily, well, I'm not having sufficient attachment. Once there was one lady, she was searching for her lover, and there was one Brahmana who was reading Bhagavad Gita, and somehow she hit that Brahmana, and then she moved ahead. And the Brahmana said, "What kind of lady is this? She hit me?" She said, "Excuse me, don't you have eyes? I was reading Bhagavad Gita and you hit me." And she said, "I'm very, very sorry, sir. I didn't realize that you were sitting here and reading Bhagavad Gita. I hit you. I'm very, very sorry." He said, "No, you deserve a curse. I was reading Bhagavad Gita." She said, "Okay, you may curse me, sir. But one question to you. While searching for my lover, I was so lost that I did not realize that I hit you. But while reading Bhagavad Gita, you are not so much absorbed that I just hit you and you are becoming so angry. Ideally, you should have continued reading Bhagavad Gita even somebody hits you. But who is more absorbed? Me in my lover or you in your Bhagavad Gita?" Brahmana said, "Thank you very much for teaching me a very good lesson. Thank you." But yes, we should have that kind of resolute focus. Very, very important. All kind of distractions should be kept away, especially mobile phone. This number one distraction nowadays, especially for devotees, I would say, number one distraction. So we should have parental app so that you can't open YouTube, you can't open anything which is distracting. No. Like in my app, in my phone, there is parental control app known as Freedom. So it's just like there is YouTube. If I open YouTube, it gets closed on its own. I can't open. Okay, if I go to Instagram, then Instagram, but then it gets closed on its own. Oh, so sad. Okay, let me open Chrome then. Chrome opened, but it got closed. Oh, so sad. I can't get myself distracted now. Oh, but we have to have this kind of app. YouTube can't be opened. Instagram can't be opened. Chrome can't be opened. Yes. But in this way, we are facilitating our focus. So we should have focus as like that of an arrow maker. Then also there is Purnana, which is spider. So spider creates the web and then it eats the web. Similarly, Lord manifests the creation and then he withdraws the creation. Yes. So if this act can be done by a spider, why not the Supreme Lord himself? That's why there are scientists that made out how can there be Mahavishnu who exhales and there are universes and then he inhales all the universes. How is it possible? So this is done by spider. When spider can do it, why can't God do it? Of course, the scale is way too high. But this quality of manifesting something and unmanifesting is there even in the spider. Yeah. And then there is shuka or caterpillar. So caterpillar transforms with difficulties as the caterpillar struggles to come out. But by that struggle, all the nerves, they get blood. In this way, all the nerves of the wing of the butterfly, it gets strength. Similarly, through all the struggles which we go through, they make us strong. So struggles are not there to make us weak. The struggles are there to make us strong. So that's why transformation happens. Yeah. And also we see that or say wasp. Any insect which is in the captivity of wasp, but just by looking at the wasp, the bee transforms into wasp. Why? Because of constant meditation. So similarly, when we constantly look at Krishna, have darshan of Krishna, we also become divine like Krishna. Not that we become Krishna, no. But we can also become divine like Krishna. So Sachidananda Vigraha, we also have spiritual body. Yes. So that's how it happens. And then also there is Atman, which is the real self. The soul, the super soul is there, as well as soul are there. So two birds on the branch of the heart. So one is eating the fruits of Sukha and Dukkha, good happiness and sadness. And there is also the Lord who is watching us. Yes. But we see that the super soul is doing everything. When we read something, when we hear something, the comprehension comes because of the super soul. Yes. In fact, when we are really sad, when we are really morose, and then we go to sleep, when we get up, then we are fresh. How come this repair happened after taking a sleep? Because when we are having deep sleep, no dreams, deep sleep, at that time repair is happening because of super soul. Yes. When we are having dreams, we are not in touch with gross body, but we are in touch with subtle body. But when there is no dream, blank, at that time, we are in touch with super soul. And super soul repairs the soul. Oh, my dear soul, you got so many wounds. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Okay, okay, okay. Bless you. And then we get up. Oh, yeah, I had such a nice sleep, feeling so refreshed. But who refreshes us? The Supreme Lord. The cognition comes from the Supreme Lord. So all witness is there. He's there in everyone's heart. Super soul, Krishna. So these are the 24 śikṣā-gurus which are there. So I discuss them in brief. So there is earth, air, sky, water, fire, moon, sun, pigeon, python, ocean, honeybee, honey collector, elephant, deer, fish, courtesan or prostitute, and then a skurura bird, child, kanya, arrow maker, and there is sarpa, spider, and then caterpillar and the self.